Okay, so we're at the top of the hour, so I'm going to go ahead and begin. Good morning, everyone from the West Coast, and good afternoon, everyone from the East Coast. Thanks for joining us on our webinar Wednesdays. I'm Stephen Phelps. I'm the marketing manager for Acumen, and I'm here with Max, Nick, and Jen from the account management team, along with Sandra Smith, who is a Sage Intelligence product specialist. For those of you who are new, we have bi-weekly webinars each month that goes through educational overviews of third-party products or ways that gives you tips, tricks, and tools on your current Sage software solution. Today, we have an overview of Sage Intelligence. Sage Intelligence is a simple, flexible reporting solution that gives you meaningful insights into your business information on the go. Sandra would demonstrate how Sage Intelligence can save you time, gain control of your business data, and take action to make better decisions. Near the end of the webinar, we'll save some time to answer a few questions, so please feel free to use the chat option during that time. We have a lot to cover, so with that being said, I will pass it on to Sandra.
Great. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining the webinar today. So I'm going to, first of all, start off with an agenda, talk to you about what I'm going to talk to you about, and that is I'm first of all going to compare Financial Reporter to Sage Intelligence, just to give you, those of you who are familiar with Financial Reporter, just something to ponder. I'm going to go into all of the benefits and features of Sage Intelligence and talk about the library of reports we have, and then I'm going to show a demonstration of the product, and finally provide you with some helpful learning resources that you can check out right after the webinar and anytime you wish. So let's go ahead and get started first of all with that comparison. So Sage 300 Financial Reporter and Sage Intelligence. First of all, Sage Intelligence reports on your financial data as well as operational data. Now, I'm going to go through all of this in the presentation, but it's important to know that not only do you have financial reports available in Sage Intelligence, but there's sales, inventory, and other reports that I'm going to show you throughout this webinar as well available to you. And you can report off additional Sage 300 modules. And Financial Reporter, it's part of the Sage 300 General Ledger, and so it's those reports that are available from that perspective. Now, Sage Intelligence also has dashboards and the ability to customize your reports. So you can take any information from your Sage 300 modules, and you'll soon find out from other data sources, and you can create beautiful dashboards that really give you important information on your business. Financial Reporter is that. It's financial reporting, which is very important, but of course we all want to look across our business to know what's going on with our business, right? So Sage Intelligence works with both 32 and 64-bit versus what Financial Reporter works with. So if you are those customers who are running the 64-bit machines, it's something to take into account. And again, talking a little bit more technically, but this just means that Sage Intelligence is based on technology that's easier supported and updated as you update versions. And as far as Sage Intelligence with running reports, it will, all of the data is loaded into our in-memory engine, which will save you time. It's much faster. So those are the points that we want to start out with, just thinking about the differences between Sage Intelligence and Financial Reporter. Now with that, I have a question for you. What reports do you use to make your business decisions? Do you use some reports to make business decisions other than, of course, the ones that are on the screen, your financials, your sales reports, and what kind of sales reports? Other kinds of reports do you use? Well, what we've found in some research that we've had done for our company are there a lot of reporting challenges. And why is that? Well, the decisions question I had for you was really because we're finding that a lot of people want to make these factual-based decisions. And of course, a lot of people are turning towards more factual-based decisions these days because, you know, they want to get that information out of their system, but they're unable to. Their decisions are more based in the past and currently are more based on just what they think or information they can get to. Or maybe you have information in one system, but it's tied to information in another system. How do you pull it together? And then if you do have the reports that are available in each system, it's not enough. We find also that in 7 in 10 organizations spend more time waiting for data, preparing it, and looking over to make sure it's accurate, rather than just having a report, running it, and making decisions. So we've seen there's a clear need for decision-making support. In other words, people need information the way they need it and how they need it. So that's where Sage Intelligence comes in. So Sage Intelligence provides this flexible system where you can customize the view or the layout of that report. It allows you to gather information across your business when you need it. So you can send it to people that need that information, collaborate better, send it to those people throughout your organization who needs this information to make decisions for themselves. And then where you need it, of course, is it email? Is it across the globe? Is it an outside entity, maybe a board or something like that? Who needs this information, and how Sage Intelligence can really pull this information together for you so that across your company you can make better decisions. Now, we've heard a lot about business intelligence. It's really a long used buzzword, but business intelligence in its simplest form is really pulling together information and making it meaningful to the user. And that is what Sage Intelligence strives for. So let's take a look at Sage 300 intelligence reporting. First of all, it's very important to note that if you have a lot of spreadsheets you're sending here and there, a lot of Excel spreadsheets or others, that Sage Intelligence enables you to reduce that by managing your data. And you think, Excel enables management of data. Now, what I'm referring more to is having an interface such as Report Manager and Report Viewer manage your data or help you manage it through these folders here that you're going to see in the demonstration, and properties. So each report has its own properties. You can deem who sees what report, and if the report is even sent outside of Report Manager or Report Viewer. Report Viewer is just that simple software. You see the screen that just popped up where you enable the people throughout your company, maybe managers, your C-levels, etc., give them the chance to run the report themselves whenever they want to. Give them the chance to run the report and drill down into supporting data. They don't have to be able to run all of the reports. Maybe you want to keep some reports from them, not enable them to run them. But this enables certain people to run certain reports, those that you need to control. So that's Report Manager and Report Viewer. Another thing is you want to be able to view your data in reports. You want to be able to just click a button and run it, right? Run the report, latest information. And so we have pre-built reports, all kinds of reports and layouts that we've built. They're templates. They're Microsoft Excel templates for you. And here's a list. So this is our initial list, and I say initial list because it's the list that comes with the Report Manager module. So remember, Report Manager is that interface that you saw in the last couple screens back, where they're tucked away in these neat folders. You have your dashboards, financial trend analysis, geotransaction reports, sales, inventory, purchase. And for the Financial Report Designer module, you have all of these additional financial reports pre-built that we have built. And they're reports that you can run, and they're populated with your data from Sage 300. Quite a lengthy list, but there's more. We have additional reports available from our website. So you can go to our website specific to Sage 300 intelligence reporting, and you can see a list there of all the reports that we have built and additional ones that we can make available for you. sageintelligence.com. So you can do a couple things. You can either download each report right there, or you can download the report utility onto your desktop. So each user with that utility can, as they think of a new report, can just click on the utility button, which basically looks like this, and they can download or look for a report that they need to see. We have an example of the report, and you can see on the far left that screen that shows you a list of all of the reports. Actually, you can see that we'd be scrolling over, so there's quite a few reports available for download, all free. And these are templates. They're built, for the general user. Remember, you can customize them and change them, or have Acumen take a look at those reports and customize them to meet your specific needs. Here's a short list of some of the report categories, like dashboards. We have cash flow, ratio reports, a few of those, project and job costing, some sales, and Power View. These reports at the bottom here really show how we take advantage of Microsoft Excel's Power View capability. It really is a nice interactive dashboard look and feel, so users who are more visual can really make good decisions based on these types of colorful interactive reports. And I've mentioned a few times already, but it's very important to understand that you can customize and design your reports to meet your business needs. And Acumen is here to guide you or to help do that for you. I'm sure you all are Excel wizards, but just may not have the time to remember some of the formulas that you've might have used in the past, but you just don't use them every day. You have a lot on your plate. Allow Acumen to take a look at the information or understand the information you need to see and make those changes to the reports using the Sage Intelligence capability. And any tweaks you can learn to do quickly on your own later. So first of all, I'm going to show you the Excel and Sage customizing using Microsoft Excel and Sage Intelligence, and this task pane over here. This is a picture of a report that we have, a balance sheet that we've built, and to the right is the task pane. You can also use Microsoft Excel's pivot table capabilities. So this is an example of our inventory status, where you can click on any additional fields you want to add to the view within the pivot table. And here's an example of a simple dashboard we've used or created based on that dashboard for inventory. So you can see the color, the interaction at the bottom, where the salesperson, you could see the inventory by salesperson, by month, etc. Now, a very important note to take into account is the ability to auto-distribute or manually distribute your reports throughout your company and beyond. So really, it really improves your collaboration. How about maybe those warehouse managers that need to receive their warehouse item inventory list on a weekly basis or even a daily basis, depending on if you carry it and how often they need to see it. A simple report to a manager or someone that really could help them do their job, or salespeople even. Enable it so that it's just the information they need to see and not anyone else's. So you can send them as a PDF. You can see here, you can send them as a PDF, an Excel file, even an HTML. So if you need it to a website, send it to OneDrive, to a server, wherever your individual employees need to view this data. Now, this is a little bit more advanced, but it's very important in understanding further about business intelligence, and that means that that BI acronym that we hear a lot, and that is that Sage Intelligence enables you to report from multiple sources, such as additional fields and information and modules within Sage 300. So, and those modules that you're adding that are from other Sage companies, such as ISVs, some of our ISVs like Sage Fixed Assets, Sage CRM, let's see, Altec HRMS, I could go on and on. So you can connect to some of those data sources and then create reports. Now, it's not something you would have to do, of course. Acumen can take a look and try to understand a little bit more about your business needs and go forward and create these reports and make them available to you. But I also want to give you this idea. Excel can be used as a data source. So if you're storing or you're maybe dumping information from some website or something into an Excel table, maybe a lot of people are using that table and updating it, connect it. Connect it to Sage Intelligence and create these great reports that can be sent to others, and they can really utilize that information much better. So here's just a couple of simple examples. There's that dashboard, that inventory dashboard I showed you earlier, but there's two that are DocLink reports, so simple reports that could, pictures 1,000 words that could really show what's going on, maybe with processes, etc. Sage Alerts and Workflows is also a great opportunity to be able to send an alert on anything that happens into your database, but let's go even further and send a report based on that alert. So not only is the person alerted, but they have information by which they can look into and kind of determine what happened, what's going on, what do we need to do next. Saving time. Okay, I'm going to dig a little bit more into the designing financials aspect of Sage Intelligence, and that's using that financial report designer. So the financial report designer enables you to make changes to those layouts that we've already built, or even create them from scratch. So you can use the task pane on the right-hand side. You see here, it starts out on layouts, but there's also lists. So you can see some lists there where you can drag over your account group, account type, account category, all listed right here. And you can see them down the line here of all these lists. You can simply drag over and drop into a blank Excel sheet, and then hook up those formulas. So you can see all of the formulas that are available there. Hook up the formulas to those account numbers, your year and period and currency types, etc. Very easy to do. And then this is our reporting tree where you can drag over and view your data based on specific segments of your account. And really use this task pane to either make changes or to create from scratch a layout the way you need to see your financials. And you don't have to have 1,000 sheets that have, each region or every single city or every single warehouse, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can simply use the dynamic aspect of Sage Intelligence to drag and drop or change your parameters to view the data that you need. Now, of course, you can have a sheet for every region, but it's really in the name of looking at information dynamically rather than forcing people to go through 200 or even 60 different sheets to look at data. And the ability to drill down. So here you can see I've highlighted a value, and what I'm going to do is right click, and at the bottom there is the drill down. There's the option to drill down, and there you can get the account and then the summary. So you're at the account level, and then you can go deeper into the transactional summary. And this is just kind of a short list of all of the information that you are able to see with your drill down capability with Sage Intelligence. And of course, we have our user guide. So no worries if this is something that you want Acumen to get you started with, but later on you want to see, you're intrigued, you want to see how you can do this on your own. We make all the tools available for you. But I highly recommend at least starting with some conversations and training with Acumen. Now, what I want to do is walk through those reporting options. So we've talked about several, so far, there's really more than I can include in the time we have for our webcast, but I just want to go through some examples here. So, of course, your financial layouts. But there's layouts that we've built that you don't have to struggle to copy paste to continue to build yourselves, like a trial balance. Of course, an income statement. We've already set it up year over year and a variance between the two. We have the ability to consolidate as well. So if you want to see year over year per company and variances between years between companies, you can. So that is available. Statement of cash flows. You can see the trending. You can see the graph at the bottom. So it's not just numbers. It's also graphics that can really help you understand how your business is doing. Regional summary by account category. And of course, we've built these. Here you can see where we've used a group code, another way of taking a look at how you've organized all of your accounts within 300. But know that that can be changed if there's some of the other lists you want to use. It's simply making use of the templates that we have or creating from scratch. And I'm just showing here where, sadly it says demo at the first, sorry, but we are showing where these are different regions where you can look at the regions side by side or even drag them in at the top to see this information dynamically. Change the year, the period, the currency type to dynamically look at the change in the values within the report. And then an income statement forecast. We've already, set up some general formulas. The formulas are visible. You can go in and reverse engineer everything that we've done and take a look at how those numbers have been created. But a lot of this information is already created for you. If you want to change it from a group code to an account code, rather, you can. And that's also something, of course, Acumen can assist with. Balance sheet forecast as well. So additional reports like our ratio report, which is pretty valuable for a lot of the CFOs or some of the C-levels that want to see what's going on year over year, your variance, your benchmarks. You can even go in and, of course, set up what your benchmarks are. And you can even, this is a dashboard. So I love the way that it's just this nice snapshot of some of these ratios at the top to look at. And you can change what these ratios, which ratios are visible. Very, very easy to do. And additional charts, again, picture is 1,000 words. Sales reports, we have the data that we have included in these sales reports, and actually I'll mention data we've included on all reports are data straight from 300, but if you have additional fields or additional maybe UDFs, user defined fields, that you want to see within these reports, they can be added. Acumen can help you with that. It's a little more advanced, but hey, the more data that you have that is relevant to what your users need, the better. And Sage Intelligence gives you the ability to add what's relevant to you and your users. There's the Sales Master AR. These are standard reports. All of these reports are standard reports and free. They're available. You can either run them from your report manager today or go out and download some of them, such as this one right here, the Sales Flash report. I'll show that in the demonstration. Purchase Master, purchase and inventory reports. That's what I was referring to earlier. Again, change colors, add filters, change filters, change or add fields. So now what I want to do is go through all of the components. As I show you or demonstrate the product, we're going to be looking at some of these components, but I want to make sure you understand how they're used and how they'll benefit certain users. Report Manager, again, is where you're going to run all reports, of course. But that's where you'll save or create new report templates. That's where you'll manage the report properties. In other words, if a report is to be visible by others, if a report is to be sent to a file, etc. That's really where your report writer sits, those who manage your reports. It's a per user license. We give you one free for Sage 300. Report Viewer, I mentioned already, but that's where you'll run reports. another person, another user will be able to run it, view the reports, and drill down. Because if you distribute a report, if you send a report, we're safeguarding your sensitive financial data. If you send a report to someone, they won't be able to drill down, only if they run a report from Report Viewer. Again, managing, controlling that aspect of it. All of the properties are controlled by Report Manager. It's usually people, like I've said earlier, maybe a C-level, maybe a sales manager, someone who wants to just run it. They don't want to wait for an email. They want to run it when they're ready to run it. And they can look at information. And again, you can control that aspect of it. Report Designer is a module that allows you to create financial reports, use our financial report templates. It's a site license. And I didn't mention the Report Viewer is a per user license. Report Designer is a site license, but know that it is visible in Report Manager as a report. So we're calling it or it is the Report Designer module because of that task pane, that additional powerful functionality right within Excel that is Sage Intelligence functionality, but it appears as a report within Report Manager. And talk with Acumen about this if you don't already have it, which you might, but talk with Acumen and see how, do you have this as something you can add? How is this that we can add it through a support level? Other options. Connector, as I mentioned, that is, well, I didn't mention the connector. Connector is the module where I mentioned that you're able to connect to other sources. So not just connect to additional data within 300, but connect to fixed assets if you have Sage fixed assets, connect to HRMS if you have that Sage HRMS, if you have an Excel file, if you have software outside of Sage and you want to create a report from that. The connector is an advanced tool. It's a site license, and that's what you would use to do so. And then finally, the license and security managers further administration and enables you to determine which user can run or view reports. Okay, let's take a look at the software. I'm going to have to wake up. Sorry, it's been a while. I'm going to have to wake up my machine here real quick. But what I'm going to demonstrate for you is I'm going to show you actually some reports that we've built and what the software looks like. Let me again here real quick. All right, so you'll see here. Let me move this a little bit out of the way. So this is 300, and you can see Sage Intelligence is a line item, if you will, in the tree. Click on Report Manager. You can see the other application, the modules like the connector, Report Viewer, etc. If you have those, are there. And then running out Report Manager or opening Report Manager, you open it per company. Now, if you have additional multiple companies like I have, you'll have these consolidated financials or the consolidated designer that enables you to look at your financials across companies. But you can see all of the folders and all of the standard reports. The standard reports, when you click on them, they look like this. This just means that you've got to copy the report so you can make edits to the report. All right, very simple. Click on the copy, highlight the folder you want to copy it to, and it opens up that properties window on the right-hand side. And there's all kinds of property. Of course, I can't go through them today, but we have information on our website. And you can also further get information from Acumen on all of the properties and things that you can do in Report Manager. So here we have all of our financials. You can see if I open up the inventory where I have my inventory reports. We have metrics and KPIs, top 5 customers, products, and vendors. Quick reports you can just run out today and look at your top 5 vendors. And of course, it changes as the data within your system changes each time you run it out. Purchase reports, sales reports, all of these ready to go to run and view your data. What I've done is I've run out this copy of the financial report designer and just select the run button, let it run out, and I pre-opened it in lieu of time. So I have, because I have quite a few, I wanted to make sure I made visible for you. This is our demonstration report designer. You could even use this report to start yours if you want to. Of course, this is based on our demonstration information, but you can change the account numbers and descriptions and then point the, let me show you if I click on, open up the group there, and I click into the formula, you can see everything that's included in this formula. You can see where I have the year, the company, the currency type. The period is period 6. I can leave it at that, or I can include it in the formula and dynamically change the period. So I can look back a period or two, or even back to last year's period. And so you see here simply how we've built this particular formula. You can see how we've created the layout. And again, there's where we have our balance sheet, income statement, and quite a few more. So there's that trial balance, your cash flow detail, and then these are the ones that we've created by division, regional, and then you know, you can use this report, something to maybe change some of your layouts, or you can just use add your account codes and modify it, or just create a report yourself as is. But of course, I recommend working with Acumen at least to get started. And this is where if I open up the task pane, you can see getting a new sheet. I'm not going to create a report, but you can see where I can easily drag in my list and set up my formulas. So if I go to the formula, and grab my current year, my current period, I can use as my, let's see, I think this is an open one. Yeah, I can use these as parameters, and I can come in here and drag in the formula that I want, say for example, actual, and then set that up. So a little bit deeper, a little bit more advanced that maybe you might want to see in a webinar like this, but this is information to just help you understand how easy this can be to, you know, get started with financials for yourself and really make these powerful reports, or even this will give you an understanding of what Acumen can do for you in creating some of these powerful reports. We have additional videos all on how to do this, so you can really see what kind of reports, give you some examples of what kind of reports that you can really come up with to make better decisions for your business. So that's the financial report designer. If I go further, it'll show you the trees that we have, you know, built, that you can drag and drop and view values based on, you know, your different trees, and then our tools for missing accounts, and back to our layouts that you can run and just have a layout pre-built for you. Okay, let me minimize that. I have a couple more reports to show you. The sales flash report, I did have a picture of it in our presentation, but this is where I love this report. This is a report that we've built that's quite simple but quite powerful, in that you can look at your sales based on, you know, whatever day. If you want to go back and look at sales for a particular day, you can. Notice that the values change, your daily sales, your average, highest, and lowest for that day. You can also see your total amount for the period. That is the period that you've run. I've run quite a large period based on the demo data we have, but choose the sales period that you want to run. And then you can see this information change, which I love. It tells you how many customers were invoiced during the period, the highest customer, sales customer, etc. Lots of good information that your sales management can see, you know, who's top customer, bottom customer, etc. So a lot of good information that a sales manager can run on a daily basis. And then here's just more. It's tabular, and it gives you the ability to oh, sorry, I needed to, sorry, because this is one I saved. let me just refresh this. If I just click on a salesperson or multiple salespeople, I can look at the information here, customer number, name, and their sales amount. So all kinds of slicers to easily and quickly slice the information. Change the color. You don't have to use sage green. Okay. And project and job costing. So I do want to make sure you are aware and understand that we have reports available out there that you can download, like this one, if you're using that project and job costing data from your Sage 300. It's Excel. So go in and add that field list. Choose additional fields. You can rename these, don't worry, but choose some of these additional fields. If you need help understanding what they are, Acumen's there to help you with it. So let's see, I can come in here and insert a slicer, which I prefer over, some of these older filters here from Excel. I wanted to add that project one. So where's my project? Select OK. You can add as many as you want, but the more you add, it gets a little bit difficult to use. But here I have all my project numbers, and I can simply slice on those. I got to make sure I choose one with data. Where'd my data go? It was there a few minutes ago. Not sure what's going on, but I have my slicer available and can slice very easily by clicking on it. The point is, this is a report that you can run out. This one in particular, you download from our website. You can run out from Report Manager. You can send it, auto send it. You can add anything to it. You can add additional fields, even if they're not in the field list. You can add slicers. You can, of course, change titles and colors from this to your own, and send it off. Set it up to auto send to a file, to an email, to multiple, etc. And then finally, let's see, this is just another one I love to demonstrate, and that is our liquidity ratio report. So, we've set this up. You can see the trending, you can see our graphics, you can see the ability to change years if you'd like, or see, I think you can see multiple years information. Now, I guess just one at a time we have right now. You can change your filters over here if you'd like. For example, companies. You can set it up so you can see multiple companies. So lots of options and lots of ability to create the view you need to see based on the data you have within your Sage 300 system. And that's Report Manager, all kinds of options here, all kinds of reports, and then the ability to download additional ones. Now I want to go back. I just have a few more slides because I want to show you helpful resources. You can go out to our Sage site, our Sage Intelligence site, where we have learning resources by level. What that means is all kinds of videos we have based on beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels. So documents, videos, all kinds of information to help you really understand what Sage Intelligence is and how it can be of benefit to you, particularly. How do you need to use it? So a lot of these are just ideas on how to get started, and Acumen or how it can benefit you, but Acumen can then come in, get you started, get you set up on these powerful reports. So there's how-to videos. We have assistance with report writing for those of you on the call that are raring to go. You have all this Excel and SQL knowledge, or you have someone within your business that has it. Let Acumen help them get started, and then let them run with it. Tips and tricks, and these include Sage Intelligence as well as Microsoft Excel tips and tricks, and they're all based on reporting. Templates and quick guides, ebooks, and other customer stories. So, listen to how some other customers have used Sage Intelligence within their business. It's quite varied. Okay, I think I've left enough time for questions. I'm happy to take questions, and even if we need, go back to the demo to answer some of them. So I'm happy to take questions now.
Awesome, thanks, Sandra. So at this time, we're going to open up the chat option, so we'll take a few minutes. If you guys want to ask any questions, please feel free to do so now.
Don't be shy.
We have one question that came in. The first question is, can I use my existing financial layout?
Oh, yes, you can. You basically need to run your financial layout. Make sure you include your account number and your account description. Then I'll run out the financial report designer report. And what you could do is just copy that flat file of your existing financial report into the Sage Intelligence Financial Report Designer Excel report. So it's just the Excel, at the bottom sheet tab, right click, copy, and move to end. You might, those of you that know Excel will probably know what I'm talking about. Copy it into, and then hook up the formulas. Now I will say that in a lot of cases, you can get more out of creating it from scratch or having Acumen put that together, because you can really, use the functionality of grouping, including ranges, graphics, things like that. So you can definitely do it, but give it a shot trying the Sage Intelligence Report Designer task pane to create one.
Awesome. Our second question is, I would like consolidated financials, and it says, how would I do those?
How would you do those? Yes, using the Consolidated Financial Report Designer module, which and the connector module. Those are the two things that you will need. But know that if you have additional companies like that, you will be able to see them side by side, consolidating them. In other words, what Acumen will do for you, or what you can do, is when you create the report, you can drag in each list. All right, drag and drop each company list, and then set up the formulas so that you can see them side by side. It's kind of hard to understand it from my explanation, but we do have some videos available, and Acumen can show you how to do it, or I am happy to work with them to show you additional demonstrations of that. And with the ability to consolidate, gives you that ability to connect to additional data sources.
Thanks. The third question is, I have macros in my reports. Can I use them with Sage Intelligence? Yes,
very good question. Actually, you can. You would, in any macros that you have within the report, save the template in Report Manager as a macro-enabled report template, and they'll run.
Thanks. It looks like those are all the questions that came in, so we can actually wrap up now. So again, everyone, thank you for joining. If you guys have any additional questions, please feel free to email us at am@acumenfl.com, or you can give us a call at 407-965-2411. Also, be sure to follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. We post there pretty much each week any updates that are going on or any trends that are happening around the industry. Our next webinar is going to be August 28th with Sage HRMS, so just be sure to be on the lookout with that invite next week. Again, thanks, Sandra, for taking the time with us, and thanks everyone for joining. Hope you have a great rest of the week.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks.